What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video today on Buy Sell Cars TV. What are we doing today? We're going to BCA Blackbush. We're going to be picking up a Volkswagen Polo which I bought for £225 hammer price. Fingers crossed the car's going to be in good condition. I've done some checks on the car from what I can see. MOT seems reasonable. It's got a bit of life in it, sort of 9 months MOT, so we're okay on that front. So let's head down to Blackbush, guys. I'll give you a full walk around of the car when we get there. I haven't seen the car in person. I've bought it completely blind, as that's the only way to be buying cars from auction at the moment. And I'll start it up, give you a first impressions. I'll show you what I normally do, but what I'll do differently on this video is I'm going to tell you exactly how much the car cost me and how much it cost to get the car home, prepped, ready for sale. You'll have a full breakdown and understanding of what the car really costs from the point of buying it to getting it ready for sale. So that'll give you a bit more of an insight into the real cost of buying and selling. Let's head down to Blackbush, guys. Like I said, I'll show you the car once we get there, and I'll see you in a sec, guys. Right, guys, you join me here at BCA Blackbush. We're going to head up down there. It's about a 5-minute walk. Thought I'd just give you a little bit of a walk through here while we're picking up the car. The place over here is absolutely huge. It's like the biggest auction in the whole of England in terms of the British car auction ones. But we're going to head on down there. Fingers crossed the car's in good condition. And I'll get there. I'll give you a walk around and show you everything. So I'll see you in a second, guys. So guys, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Here is my £225 Volkswagen Polo. Right guys, here it is, my £225 Volkswagen Polo. First impressions, it's not actually too bad. We've got a lovely, I don't know what this is meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be some sort of barcode, but that'll polish off. Yeah, not too bad to be honest, guys. For 225 quid, hammer on the bid price. It's actually not too bad. Bit of a clean, bit of a polish will make wonders on this. It is missing the rear wiper, but it's not end of the world to be honest on a car that's 225 quid. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see, a little bit of a scratch that goes into the bonnet. Oh, I shouldn't have really done that, making it worse. But overall, guys, it's actually pretty good. I'm quite happy with this one. Let's check out the interior. Right, so again, the interior could do with a little bit of a valet, but it's not too bad. It's not in the best condition, but you know, like I say, it's not too bad. It just needs a good old valet. Nothing seems to be broken. Yeah, it's got a bit of a smell inside, but it is summer and we'll get it valeted, we'll get all that fixed up. But like I say, guys, I'll get all this done on a video, show you the before and afters and how much difference a valet can really make to things like the seats and the carpet. But anyway, let's get in, let's start it up, and fingers crossed the engine is good. Right, so we've got fuel. It's always a good start. Clutch down. Yeah, sounds all right. Sounds pretty good. Let's give it a little bit of a rev. Oh yeah, honestly, guys, sounds perfect, sounds great. Let's let it warm up for a little bit. So while we let the car warm up, I'll give you a little breakdown so far of my impression. I'm really happy, to be honest. 225 quid bid for this car. I mean, guys, the engine sounds perfectly fine. It's running well. The bodywork's in reasonable condition. It just needs a valet. Probably could do with a service. It's got a long MOT on it. I think we're in for quids in on this one, guys, but we'll let it run for a little bit. We'll check the engine oil and water. I'll set the cameras up inside and I'll see you on the way back, guys. Right, guys, we're setting back off. First impressions on driving the car, clutch is really good. It's definitely been replaced. There's no way this is the standard clutch. It almost feels like new. All the gears, everything, steering, it genuinely feels like a very, very good car. There's no unusual knocks or creaks coming from any of the parts on the suspension. There is the most minor one coming from the rear, but this was an advisory on one of the previous MOTs, so I'll get it looked into, but it's nothing out of the ordinary for a car of this year and age. But yeah, guys, another thing I did mention about the interior, I said it was, you know, it was reasonable. In terms of the actual wear and tear, it's reasonable, but it's in shocking condition. Like, sat here, it is absolutely disgusting. Like, the condition some people keep their cars in is actually shocking. Like, I just feel dirty even being sat in here right now. I don't think the camera will pick up a lot of the things, but I'll give it a little montage of some of the things I can see. I'll just put that in now. But yeah, end of the day, guys, these are things which are very, very minor. It can be rectified by a simple valet, 40, 50 quid, drop it off to the valeters, they'll bring it up, make it look brand new. So I'm not concerned about these things at all. But yeah, we've just hit the main road. Honestly, perfect. Look, I'll close the windows. Well, I say I'll close the windows, but the passenger one isn't closing from the button, but it opened. So, okay, thankfully the window goes up from the passenger side button, so there is a little issue with the control panel on the driver's side. But I'm sure you can probably hear, guys, you know, it's silky, it's silky smooth. You know, these creaks you can hear now is just my leg against the climate control panel. And another thing as well, this car's got air conditioning. I think it needs regassing, but what a bonus. It's got aircon. We'll keep the windows open to get some fresh air in. But yeah, guys, honestly, cars like this, they're good buys. You know, a lot of people are looking to get into buying and selling cars. This is the perfect way to start. It's a small amount of money, it's small risk as well in the sense of the money you're putting into it. But it's small risk in that sense as well. So it's a good way to, you know, start to learn about the trade, because you don't want to go out and put all your eggs in one basket and go spend 10 grand on something which, you know, may require a lot of work, and then you'll end up losing money. So there's a good way to start, guys. This is a fantastic way to get into the business. Start off with small cars such as these. They're easy to buy, easy to sell. 1.2 engine, 3-cylinder, minimal things to really go wrong with them. And even if they do, they're very, very cheap to fix. Generally, Volkswagens are very reliable cars, so as they get on, they still do drive fantastic, because, God, as I say, look, it's pulling absolutely fantastic. You know, I could drive this car for 6 months. It's genuinely, it's that comfortable and that smooth. But go for cars like these, guys. You know, dibble and dabble, whatever you think that you would prefer. You know, Ford Fiestas, anything small and cheap. You know, you can really get, that is a good way to get into the business. My first car which I ever bought to sell was a Ford Focus. It was a 1.6 Z-Tech. I paid 400 quid for that car, guys. I found it on Gumtree. I got it home, cleaned it up, made it look really very, very nice, made a professional advert, and I sold the car the next day for £850. So it's just about adding value to these things, guys. Cars of these values, even if you buy them and they're an absolute lemon, you can just take a few parts off them, sell them on eBay, and scrap the shell. You know, take the catalytic converter off, you get good money for it. You still might even make a profit, to be honest. So even in a worst case scenario, you still should do well on these. And the good thing with these types of cars, guys, they have a good turnover. So, you know, because they're reasonably priced and they are affordable, if you've got a good MOT on the car, it's been serviced, it's in good condition, or reasonable condition, shall I even say, there's no reason why these cars don't sell quickly. So you can make good profit. Just the only downside is these cars do sometimes have more work involved. So what I mean by that is it just depends how far you go with things. So as I mentioned, you know, for example, the electric the window on this side doesn't work unless you press it from the passenger side. Small things like this, you know, it's not something you need to get repaired, to be honest. It's something you can just inform to the customer so they're aware of. Because on a car like this, if you were to replace something like this, it's just not viable. It's not you know, it's not something which is necessary. But the person that's buying this car for the money, you know, this car is going to be sub £1,000. So you're really looking for a car that's just to get you from A to B. You aren't really too fussed about certain luxuries. So what I mean is, you know, you have to remember you are buying a used car, and you can't have everything you possibly want for. If you want everything you want, you have to pay the price. So little things, like I said, the car's got air conditioning. You know, it's a bonus. When you're spending £1,000 on a car, it's a bonus to have things like electric windows, air conditioning, you know what I mean? So these are win-win things. Like I say, overall, I'm very, very happy about this purchase, to be honest. I will get the car checked over, but overall, so far, everything seems good. There's nothing which seems out of the ordinary, or anything which I think is going to cost me a lot of money, which will affect my profit margin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this car dropped off to the valeters, get it valeted. I'll just give you a montage, like I say, of the interior, and I'll do one after as well, so you have that to see the before and after difference. And what I will do later on, at some point, it may be one of my other videos, I'll let you know how much this car sold for, so you'll get an idea of, you know, the sort of margins you can make on these cars when you do buy a good one. So I just hope it will give you a good insight, you know, when it comes to sort of starting into the business. You don't need a lot of money to get involved into this business, and the sort of margins and profit you can make from these small cars. And you know what, guys, like I was saying earlier, you know, when you're buying a car sort of sub £1,000, you're just looking for a car which gets you from A to B. But this car does have some quite nice, you know, I'm going to say luxuries. So you've got a few things, you know, you've got electric mirrors, which are heated as well, which are perfect for the winter. You know, you've got central locking inside, electric windows on the front. You've got an aftermarket head unit, which I think has Bluetooth. If it doesn't have Bluetooth, you've got... Brakes a bit squeaky. Yeah, you've got an aftermarket head unit, which has got Bluetooth, and it's got a USB port and AUX. And you've got aircon as well. You might need regassing, but guys, these are all really good things to have in a car when you're paying, you know, sort of less than £1,000. You know, in my eyes, yeah, these brakes definitely are a bit squeaky. I need to get them checked. Yeah, guys, if I was going to buy a car for £1,000, I think this is definitely something I would go for. It's got everything I would need, as long as the aircon's working. I always bang on about aircon, don't I? But yeah, hay fever's not too bad today. I've taken my tablets. I've learnt my lesson from last time, so yeah, we're going good on that front, by the way, guys. Don't get me wrong, guys, you can lose money on cars, and I have to reiterate that point. You do make losses. You know, you can't always win. It's not how it works. But as long as you're consistently making profits and your losses are minimal, then that's the most important thing, you know, to growing your business. Now, so many people get into this business and then they just buy a few cars, they lose £1,000 on something, and then they lose their heart. And I get that. Obviously, no one likes losing money, but when you lose money, you learn a lesson, and it's how you move forward afterwards, guys, from that lesson, and how you don't, and how you prevent yourself from losing money like you did on that one. So as long as you don't make the same mistake, that's fine. You might lose money again in the future, but it'll be a different mistake. So it's about learning from those mistakes, guys. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to head back, drop this straight off to the valeters, get it in, get it straight out, advertised, hopefully by the weekend, fingers crossed. Today is Thursday, so by the time you see this video, it'll probably be, the car might even be sold by the time you see this video. But anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to like the video, give it a share, give it a subscribe, and guys, I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care, guys.